from Luke's Gospel. Turn with me to Luke, chapter 19. And Jesus entered and passed through Jericho. And behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus, which was the chief among the publicans, and he was rich. And he sought to see Jesus, who he was, and could not for the press, because he was little of stature. And he ran before and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him, for he was to pass that way. And when Jesus came to the place, he looked up and saw him, and said unto him, Zacchaeus, make haste, come down, for today I must abide at thy house. And this is really the secret of the way into God. And I want to talk about it. If you notice one thing about Zacchaeus, he didn't want anything. He wasn't looking for healing. He wasn't looking for a miracle. He wasn't looking for some great thing at all. Zacchaeus just came to see who Jesus was. He just wanted to see, well, I've heard about this man. Who is he? And curiosity got the better of him. Now, he didn't come with a need. He didn't come with a realization of anything wrong. He just came out of curiosity to see who this man was. And a lot of people end up in church out of curiosity. Now, if you look at him, he was a social outcast. He came from Jericho, which was a city that was cursed. God said, never rebuild Jericho. But they did. And Zacchaeus was there, and he was the head of the publicans. And he was very, very rich. Now, he didn't deserve anything. He wasn't looking for anything. He was hidden up in the tree, and Jesus comes. Jesus stopped and called him down from the tree. And I want to suggest all of us in our lives are stuck up some tree. Do you know a tree has been the problem from all eternity? You're up your tree. And you remember Adam and Eve. They were told there's one tree, the fruit of that tree don't touch. And the trouble is, everyone's got their own little tree. You've got to come down from your good works, your self-justification. I want to suggest there's one or two of you here who've got a personal call of God. It's as though things that have been said are directed to you personally. There's others of you who sat here and it won't affect you personally. And I would suggest that in everyone's life who's truly born again, there always comes a point when Jesus personalizes everything to you as a person. There's a meeting, there's a situation where God intervenes and he personalizes everything to you. And suddenly, it was as though he was speaking to you alone. God doesn't call his people by multitudes. He calls them individually. When he chose his disciples, he called them individually. It was a hastening call. Now notice, there was something about it that is very imperative. When Jesus looked up, he said, Zacchaeus, make haste. This is not the time to think, to reason, to go away and pray about it. When God speaks, it's the time to act. It's a humbling call. Zacchaeus, make haste, come down. In other words, Zacchaeus, you can't see unless you're up the tree. It's time you got your curiosity dealt with and you came down to earth. It's also an affectionate call. You know, real love. Jesus says, Zacchaeus, make haste, come down. Why? Today I must abide at your house. I'm coming to your house. It was a place of deceit, manipulation, self-interest, and dishonesty, this house. But that didn't stop Jesus going there. When God calls, it's not for a moment, it's forever. When he's at work, he'll come and abide in the heart, and he'll consecrate forever. Give you a new heart, new mind, new spirit. It's forever. So here's this man. Suddenly, he's called down. Make haste, come down. I'm coming to abide at your house. It's a necessary call because Jesus said, I must abide. Do you know, with the elect, there's an imperative in it. I've got to do it. It's not chance. There's a time of meeting with God where God chooses you, God calls you, God speaks, and it's your time. And when it's your time, there's an imperative in God. I'm coming, I will abide. Understand, it's always that way. When he says, I must abide, there's no more resistance. He's determined to make you willing. When he says, I must abide, that's it. And the lovely thing is, you know, it's an effectual call. Zacchaeus' door was open. He unburdened his conscience and he got joyful. You know, he felt he was an outcast, a reject. He just wanted to see who this Jesus was. Didn't think he had any part. And all of a sudden, Jesus makes it personal. I'm coming to your house. You imagine all the other people there that would like Jesus in their house. A multitude around him. Disciples around him. And here he is, and he ignores them all. He looks up a tree, and there's a right tear away. And he says, it's your hour, it's your time. Come down, make haste, get down here. I must come to your house. Maybe you're the one whose hour has come.